The future of food, lab-grown and sustainable diets. Imagine a future where your steak never saw a cow and your favorite burger was grown in a lab. Is this some kind of science fiction nightmare? Or is it the sustainable salvation our planet has been waiting for? Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about dinner, because today we're diving deep into how our food choices are about to change the world. Think about the food on your plate. Where does it come from? For most of history, the answer was simple: a farm, a field, the ocean. But our global food system is under immense pressure. It's a major driver of climate change, a massive consumer of fresh water, and a leading cause of deforestation. The way we eat is pushing our planet to its limits. But what if there was another way? A culinary revolution is already here, and it's happening faster than you might think. This isn't just about new recipes or farming techniques. It's a fundamental reinvention of food itself. Today, we're exploring two pillars of this revolution: the mind-bending science of lab-grown meats and the powerful, earth-saving potential of sustainable diets. Are you ready to see what's on the menu for humanity's future? Let's start with something that sounds straight out of a sci-fi novel: lab-grown meat, also known as cultivated or cellular meat. So what is it exactly? Picture this. Scientists take a small sample of cells from a living animal, a cow, a chicken, a fish, in a process that's completely harmless. These cells are then placed in a cultivator, which is like a brewery for meat. Inside, they are fed a rich broth of nutrients, sugars, amino acids, vitamins, everything they need to grow and multiply, just like they would inside an animal's body. Over a few weeks, these cells grow into real muscle tissue. The result? Real meat, identical on a molecular level to the meat from a farm, but created without ever raising and slaughtering an animal. The potential benefits are staggering. Let's talk about the environment first. Traditional livestock farming is a resource hog. It's estimated to be responsible for about 14.5% of all human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. That's more than all cars, planes, and ships combined. Cultivated meat, on the other hand, could drastically cut that number. Studies suggest it could use up to 99% less land and 96% less water than conventional beef production. Imagine rewilding vast areas of land that are currently used for grazing and growing feed crops. This isn't just about reducing our footprint, it's about actively healing the planet. And what about animal welfare? Billions of animals are raised in factory farms every year, often in crowded and stressful conditions. Cultivated meat completely removes the animal from the equation of meat production. It offers a future where we can enjoy a burger or a chicken nugget without any of the ethical concerns tied to industrial agriculture. For many people, this is the most compelling reason to embrace this new technology. It's a way to have our meat and eat it too, with a clear conscience. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There are major hurdles to overcome. The first one is cost. Right now, producing cultivated meat is expensive. The very first lab-grown burger, unveiled back in 2013, cost over $300,000 to make. Prices have dropped dramatically since then, but it's still not cheap enough to compete with traditional meat. Companies are racing to scale up production and bring costs down, but it will take time. Then there's the ick factor. The idea of eating meat grown in a lab can be unsettling for some. Public acceptance is a huge challenge. Will people trust it? Does it feel natural? Overcoming this psychological barrier will require a lot of transparency, education, and, most importantly, a product that tastes absolutely delicious. Food regulators around the world are also figuring out how to classify and label these products. Getting regulatory approval is a complex and lengthy process, but we are starting to see progress, with countries like Singapore and the United States giving the green light for sales. The journey from science fiction to your dinner plate is well underway, but it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. Now, while cultivated meat is a groundbreaking technology for the future, there is another powerful movement that you can be a part of right now: embracing sustainable diets. This isn't about some extreme, restrictive eating plan. It's about making conscious, informed choices about the food we eat every day. The core idea is simple: eat in a way that is good for your health and good for the planet. So what does a sustainable diet look like? One of the biggest shifts is moving towards more plant-based foods. This doesn't mean everyone has to become a vegetarian or vegan, although those are great options. It can be as simple as practicing meatless Mondays or trying what's called a flexitarian diet, where you consciously reduce your meat consumption and make plants the star of your plate. Why does this matter so much? Because plant-based foods, like vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains, have a significantly lower environmental footprint than animal products, especially red meat. Growing beans, for example, requires far less land and water and produces fewer greenhouse gases than raising cattle. Another key part of sustainable eating is choosing local and seasonal foods. When you buy produce from a local farmer's market, you're not just getting fresh, tasty food. You're also cutting down on food miles. That's the distance your food travels from the farm to your plate. Food that's been shipped or flown thousands of miles has a much larger carbon footprint. Eating seasonally also means you're eating foods at their peak, when they're most flavorful and nutritious, without the need for energy-intensive greenhouses or long-term cold storage. It reconnects us to the natural rhythms of our environment. And we can't talk about sustainable diets without tackling the massive issue of food waste. Did you know that roughly 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption is lost or wasted every year? That's a staggering amount of wasted resources: water, land, energy, labor, all for nothing. This waste happens at every stage, from the farm to the store to our own kitchens. Fighting food waste can be as simple as planning your meals, using your leftovers creatively, and understanding best by versus use by dates. Every bit of food we save is a win for our wallets and for the planet. It's one of the most impactful and easiest changes we can make. So, where do we go from here? The future of food isn't an either-or scenario. It's not a battle between lab-grown meat and plant-based diets. The most likely reality is a future where both play a crucial role. Imagine a world where you can choose a delicious, affordable cultivated steak one night and a hearty, flavorful lentil stew the next. A world where our food system is diverse, resilient, and in harmony with our planet. Technology like cellular agriculture can provide sustainable alternatives to industrial meat production, satisfying our cravings without devastating the environment. At the same time, a collective shift towards more plant-rich diets, less waste, and local eating can fundamentally rebalance our relationship with food and nature. These two paths are not mutually exclusive. They are complementary solutions to a complex global challenge. One is a top-down, technological revolution, while the other is a bottom-up, grassroots movement powered by our daily choices. Together, they can create a food system that is truly sustainable, one that can nourish a growing global population for generations to come. The plate of the future will look different, that's for sure. It will be a blend of tradition and innovation, of science and nature. But this change is not something to fear. It's an incredible opportunity to build a better, healthier, and more compassionate world, one meal at a time. The choices we make in the grocery store and in our kitchens have a ripple effect that extends across the globe. By embracing innovation and making more mindful decisions, we all have the power to shape the future of food. So what do you think? Are you excited about the possibility of trying lab-grown meat? Or are you focusing on making your current diet more sustainable? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this incredible food revolution. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the future of food. If you found this video interesting and thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Until next time, eat thoughtfully.